Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and to another Fortnite tips and tricks video. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how you can predict the future storm circles without using a forecast tower. Now, of course, the forecast tower is the most guaranteed method to know exactly where it's going to go. You kill the guards, put the card in the machine, and then you know where the storm's going to go for the rest of the game. There's also an NPC on the edge of the map. He'll charge you 200 gold, but he'll only reveal one storm circle, so this isn't quite ideal. So now, without further ado, I'm going to teach you how you can guess where the storm is going to be going almost every single time in Fortnite without the use of any NPCs or the forecast tower. Alright, so I'm going to pull up the map here. As you can see, it's still on the first storm circle. Now I want you to look at the top of the map where my cursor is here. Now, whenever you see that there's a whole lot of dark blue waters, this is something I picked up from watching a pro player who mentioned it. I thought it was crazy, but I tried it, and it actually is true majority of the time. If there's a lot of dark blue water, the storm is actually likely going to pull towards that dark blue water more times than not. But now there is a little bit more to it than just that. So now as you see, we're on Storm Circle 2. Now I want you to look at where the ring is and look at where the storm is pulled. Notice that where the dark blue water is, that is where the ring is actually touching the purple storm zone. So now the areas of the map where there's not a lot of space between the ring and the storm is going to be moving a lot slower. That's going to be a more slow side of zone. Then the area where there's a lot of space before the circle can actually touch the ring from the storm, so like the far right side of the map, for example, that is going to be the fast side of the moving zone. Now, the storm tends to like to always stick to the area where the ring is touching the storm. So when you have a situation where your map looks like mine does here, and you have a lot of blue water and the ring is touching the storm in the area of that dark blue water, there's a very, very high chance that the storm is going to keep pulling in that direction. And as you can see, we are now on storm circle number 3, and you can just keep watching because the storm is going to keep pulling the exact way that I said it's going to, and to the location that I just marked. Now, when I first started playing this game, I used to think that the storm pulls were completely random. There was no way that you could really predict where they were going to go, and bam, would you look at that. Went exactly where I said it was going to go again. Notice I picked that spot right near the beginning of this game, and it still hasn't moved due to the dark blue water, and to where the ring is touching the storm is in the dark blue water. Now, I also want you to remember that this method only really works before the zone starts becoming a moving zone before endgame. So it only works for about maybe the first 7 storm circles, about, if I had to guess. But we are going to have an example here shortly on how you can predict the storm circles movements if there isn't any dark blue water in just a moment here. But first, if you've got any value or learned anything interesting from this video, please consider liking and subscribing, or drop me a comment down below, especially if you have had any tips on how to figure out where the storm is going to go in Fortnite. So now let's watch this. And Shazam, would you look at that. Now I want you to notice that finally the storm circle is actually finally moved, and now the ring is no longer touching the storm on the far right side of the map like it was at the beginning. So now this is how you're going to be able to tell where it's going to go if there's not any water around it. Just look for the part that is closest to where the storm is. So basically the slowest side moving zone is most likely where the storm is going to pull to next. So I'm just going to mark this spot right over here. Now we will check in a couple moments here to see if my predictions were correct in this instance as well. And then you'll also have an example on the screen of when this method will no longer work anymore and what the zone will look like, so you know when to stop using this method to try to predict where the future storm circles are going to go. But now, since we are getting to the end of this video, I'm just going to sign off early and then continue my commentary. I'm Big Papa Smurf 187. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do turn on your notifications. if you'd like to see more great Fortnite content in the future, and don't forget to have fun gaming. And now, here we go. Let's see where the storm went. And would you look at that? It went just right where I said it was going to go. But now, when the zone is like this, split in half, and it's a moving zone, you will no longer be able to use this method in order to try to predict where the storm is going to move to next. So your best bet at this point would be to hopefully still have gotten a forecast tower, as it is the only guaranteed method that I know of in order to know where the storm is going to go for sure 100% every single game. But do try this method out and let me know how it works for you. Do remember it's not always guaranteed to work, but majority of the time I can guess where the storm is going to go by using this method. Anyways, I hope that this video helped you out. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. And my opponent won with 2 HP, literally. Figures.